you expect your kids to be healthy, putting them into their mouths this milk that is coming out of machines, completely genetically disturbed, and then we assume that we all can be healthy consuming this milk. And on top of it, the industry keeps telling milk is good for you, calcium is important, all this bogus information which is absolutely out of wink. We started harboring all this in the form of food, and nutrition industry started teaching everywhere all this.
Yes, doctor.
In the form of curriculum. We have to
Doctor,
have protein. What protein? Like this. So we all started accumulating microbial imbalance, hormonal imbalance, and then choosing the rice and wheat as the staple food. The whole world did the biggest mistake of not able to maintain the glycemic index, pumping glucose into the blood in large quantities, creating glucose imbalance. So these are the three major mistakes the industrial food culture has induced into the brains of the so-called food scientists, health scientists, and whatever you call all these people. So unless we concentrate on these three imbalances that we have created due to the mistakes of industrial food production of the food, and then spoiling the earth, and then creating a food which can completely imbalances in three different dimensions. That is energy level, glucose, and hormone level, chemical level, and then microbial level, living forms. And microbes are so important in our gut, without whose symbiotic existence we cannot make many different kinds of biochemicals that are needed by us. Example is vitamin B12. But then what does this industry do? It says vitamin B12 is available in meat, so you all eat meat, which is absolute nonsense scientifically. So the meat and fat is produced with the excess of glucose that we, after digestion, produce in the blood. So not only the last product of the digestive system, glucose, it is the byproducts of glucose that we are taking it as raw material into our mouth, which is the most unscientific thing biochemically. So the end products are being fed as the starting materials for our digestive process. And this is the scientific and technical problems that the way we are eating our food. So you should not be eating any grain which releases glucose very fast into your blood, which are actually main characteristics of rice and wheat, because they suit the industries to have water logging, add fertilizers, add pesticides, add insecticides. All these businesses have to flourish, means they have to choose rice and wheat. And that's how the parameters of decision making is gone into the hands of these fertilizer industries and things. This all happened after the Second World War, which we started the bomb material being converted into fertilizers, and all that stories everyone knows. So I don't need to go back to the history. But right now, I'm concentrating on why the agriculture and the food that we produce are the two things that actually are very important. But the whole medical world, the doctors are completely removed from the food. They don't even know what food is, how the rice is grown, how the wheat is grown, how the meat is made. All this is irrelevant for an MD, MS doctor. What all he does is, you have this problem, you take this tablet. You have this problem, you take this tablet. So you have matched the following: diseases list, medical tablets list. And that's all they are being trained into. So this is the sad story of industry. Let's forget about it. Now, what do we do? How do we get out of this? How do we correct these imbalances? So these three imbalances, how can we correct, and where do you get these imbalances corrected from? And it has to be from food, not from, again, supplements or this or that. But then there has been an issue of thinking that we can change our diet and then cure certain conditions. That is possible. But I'm not actually looking for a diet plan to cure diabetes, to cure hypertension, to cure cancer.
It must be a holistic way.
I'm trying to correct the system by taking food. And another important medical fact, not medical fact, physiological studies is that our body, each and every cell regenerates itself and replenishes itself. For example, hemoglobin takes 3 to 3.5 months to regenerate new
90
cells.
days totally got
90
new
days, yeah,
hemoglobin.
like that. And in 7 years, almost every cell of our body gets replenished.
Yeah.
So while this happens, we keep supplying the wrong food materials because everything has to be made out of the food that we eat into our mouth.
Food.
So what will you do if you keep supplying the wrong bricks to the house? You build a weak system.
Building.
And that's what is actually happening over the period of decade to decade. We are seeing the health problems not multiply, they are actually going exponential.